For our next segment, we're covering the best Christmas movies of all time. Of course, we want to hear your favorites too, so leave them in the comments. Joining me today for this important and necessary conversation is Rachel Simon for Bustle, Matthew Jussim from Men's Journal, and Janice Williams from Newsweek. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Taking time out of your busy schedule to debate the important issues. Let's get into it. Our first category is unconventional Christmas movies, and let's start with a long-running debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? We're already having passionate responses. Before we get there, first, let's watch a clip of the trailer.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A. But a team of terrorists.
You want money? What kind of terrorists are you? Who said we were terrorists?
Have their own holiday plans.
And I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to kill me. Okay. We do it the hard way.
But the one thing they didn't plan on was New York cop John McClane.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
Okay, this is a good place to start. What elements make a Christmas movie?
I guess I'll start. Well, for one thing, all I want to do is watch Die Hard. But I think I wrote about this in the piece that I put together about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. It kind of does come down to personal preference for people, what they define a Christmas movie as. For me, I'm kind of on the broad side where if you have Christmas references, some Christmas songs, even if it's not directly about Christmas, I think you could call it a Christmas movie. Although I think people who are more traditional about it, that's okay too. But for me, that's why I think Die Hard does fit into the box, because as you just saw in the trailer, literally the first thing they said was, it's Christmas Eve. So to me, if it's set there, there's lots of references. So that's at least.
So for you, it's location and time.
And references.
Okay. What do you think, Rachel?
I think it's a Christmas movie. I think any movie, I agree, like any movie that's set during Christmas or has at least a large portion of it set there qualifies, no matter what the genre is. It's like I would consider the first couple of Harry Potter movies Christmas movies, just because there's so much of them that has to do around the theme of Christmas, and you get like in a spirit there. So I think it is.
Janice, you wrote about a new poll on the Die Hard debate. What were the results?
There were basically more than 50% of Americans that do not believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I am one of them. I do understand that, it's set on Christmas Eve, but, I don't know. That's not enough for me. Where's the warm fuzzy? Christmas time is about happiness and family, and I do understand that he's fighting for his family's protection, but I don't know. That's just not enough for me. And even Bruce Willis himself has said that Die Hard is not
it's
a
hard
Christmas
to fight
movie.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Unconventional movies also kind of falling into or not falling into the Christmas genre. Gremlins. Okay, let's just jump in and talk about this, because Gremlins could very much be a Christmas movie, but it's horrifying. Like, I watched it as a kid, and I'm more scared of it now than I was then.
It definitely has some of those like scary elements that you almost be like, why isn't this like a Halloween movie? Obviously, part of the story revolves around that, it's a Christmas gift. So I feel like that kind of puts it in the box. But I get what you mean, because as you were just saying, when you think of Christmas movies, you do kind of think of kind of that warm, fuzzy feeling, or that sentimental feeling of, of It's a Wonderful Life or something like that. So Gremlins, again, in my personal opinion, it is, but at the same time, I totally could see someone saying, I don't want to curl up with a nice hot cocoa and watch that movie on Christmas.
Like our families watching Gremlins together with their small children. It's Christmas Eve. We're waiting for Santa to come. We're not turning on Gremlins.
That might ruin the night a little bit.
I'll admit, I've actually never seen Gremlins. I know. But the thing is, I'm not going to start now because, especially this time of year, because I agree, even though if it was something that I would have maybe considered a Christmas movie, it's watching it for the first time, something that's going to be that creepy and weird. That's not how I want to spend my holidays.
Honestly, if I could just make a highlight reel of Gizmo as a baby.
He was really cute.
He was really cute. He saves the whole thing.
I had that stuffed animal, so I don't. It's worth it. But what are some underrated Christmas movies that you're a fan of?
I personally will always vouch for The Family Stone. I think this movie is so underrated. I mean, it's not that it didn't do well. It had a huge cast in it. I mean, Diane Keaton and Rachel McAdams and Claire Danes and all these, Sarah Jessica Parker, huge people.
Just run it down.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing cast. It's not an incredible movie, if we're being honest here, but it's so much fun. It's like the perfect dysfunctional family Christmas movie, and I think that it's one that people don't give enough credit.
The Holiday also, that warms my heart.
Yes,
all
that
the
is
time.
my favorite.
I wouldn't say that's underrated, though. It's a great movie. I think it's
I'm a big fan of that one. I feel
Yeah.
like not enough people mention it.
Yeah, that's
So
how
we'll
I
mention
feel.
it.
my circle is just very holiday focused.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I brought it up, so of course I agree with myself. Now let's talk about cheesy Christmas movies. And I hate that somehow we put the word cheesy in front of Hallmark. It's not cheesy. Strong, resonates with you. One of my personal favorites is A Boyfriend for Christmas. It's a Hallmark movie. Let's watch the trailer.
As promised, one boyfriend for Christmas, Santa.
He's a gift.
Are you some sort of serial killer?
The red bow on my chest?
She won't return.
I'd like you to meet my boyfriend. How long have you been seeing him?
Where's he from? What's he do for a living?
One question at a time.
This guy's a fraud and a liar.
Here's my Christmas present.
You've been dating a Christmas present? That might be difficult to exchange.
A boyfriend for Christmas.
Tell me you don't want to watch that.
I want to watch it.
I would watch
I
it.
want to watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
Suspenseful.
And there's Santa.
What's not to love about that, really?
And she just makes a wish when she's younger, and then boom, it happens on Christmas. 'Cause that's the magic of Christmas at Hallmark. I should work for them. Anyway, Janice, what's your pick for cheesy Christmas movie?
It's more of a recent movie. It's The Holiday Calendar. It's on Netflix with Quincy Brown, and it's so good. She gets an advent calendar, and every day there's these themes that happen in her life that kind of just pushes her closer towards her true love, and very holiday centric. There's snow. They literally work at a Santa Photoshop booth situation. It's hilarious and it's so cute, but it is really it's really cheesy.
It's my sweater.
Yeah.
Rachel, how about you?
God, there's so many, but I would say recently, even though I know it gets a lot of credit, I still think Elf is a classic cheesy, but you can't not love it Christmas movie. It's so much fun, and even though that it's you're rolling your eyes as you're watching it at the end, you're still you can't not love that movie. It's
I never
perfect for
roll
that.
my eyes at that.
Maybe just speaking for myself.
I get teary-eyed. Something's wrong with me. All right, now let's get to the classics and hear your picks. Matthew, tell us yours.
Yeah, so I could go a few different ways on this because in a weird way I do kind of think Die Hard and Home Alone to me are my classics because I just watched those growing up exactly. But when I also hear classic, I think of movies like A Christmas Story, and who of us hasn't dabbled in the 24-hour marathon? And I even remember as a kid, someone tried to put their tongue on the flagpole, and it didn't go as bad as it did in the movie. But that movie to me is just a classic and just a favorite. And to me, that movie completely just describes Christmas and just makes you feel like it's the holiday.
All right, finally, lightning round. Best Christmas movie of all time. You can repeat.
Oh boy.
If you've already said it, I won't deduct points. Okay, go.
Home Alone.
Die Hard.
The Holiday.
Boyfriend for Christmas. That's a wrap. Guys, that was so great. Thank you so much for joining us for this.
Thank you again for having us.
Festive panel. I don't want to transition away from the backdrop. Don't make me, Katy Perry. All right. They're making us change it back, but that's okay. We're waiting for Skype to be set up. I'll let you guys go on your merry ways. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, too. Actually, wait, before you go, New Year's resolutions.
Ooh.
New Year's
Backdrop. I just really want an excuse for the
Whoa,
backdrop.
on the
Got
spot
to think
now.
about this for a second. New Year's resolution.
If you don't have one, that's okay. We can try to find one for you.
I guess my New Year resolution would just be to make a little bit more time for the things that I know are really important and dear to me that are not necessarily friends and career focused, just really internalize and project out the goals that I have for myself.
Ooh, hard to follow up that
That's
one.
a really good one.
I think I'm going to make more time to watch more Hallmark Christmas movies, so next time around I'll have a few more suggestions there because I
what?
definitely have not seen enough.
I don't want to come on too strong, but we're new best friends.
So I'll go with that for now.
Okay, I like it.
That's not mine, although it should be, honestly. That I would just join that friendship. That's a great plan. I would probably say for real, though, that I think I want to be focused more on like appreciating what I have and not even just not taking things for granted, but like I know I do this and I know a lot of other people do. Like we get too caught up in like what we want to change and what's not perfect yet or what's not what I want to do more of, and don't really take the time to actually fully appreciate the things that are going really well in my life.
Not to get super cheesy, but this is kind of the panel's theme. Every night I say a prayer and I always will thank God for what he hasn't given me, because I know it could always get a little tougher or a little harder. So those are blessings for sometimes the things you don't get.
I endorse all these resolutions.
Nice. That's because we're best friends. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, Rachel, Matthew, and Janice.